that's a big question. What has God done in our region? So Jimmy and I, my husband and I, came back to the Lord and entered back into the church in approximately 1996. And we came into a situation where people had just returned from Toronto, from the movement of God that was happening in Toronto. So my entire Christian walk has been in that movement of God. And what was happening in Toronto in the 1990s, it came here. We were influenced by it. We had many speakers here. They would come down into our region, and many of us would go over and over again to Toronto and drink of those wells and get taught by them and mentored by them. And so I think the move of God has affected our region for the people who've been open to it. So we've seen God do a lot. We've seen historically, our churches in Halifax were very divisive, and there was a lot of turbulence in the church. But we've seen over the last several years, we've seen a new unity beginning to come to the churches. There's been a lot of prayer into the churches. There's been a lot of prayer into the history of the churches. When I think back over the years, how much intercession. I've been involved in many different intercessions that have been held for our city. When I first talking back to 1996, I was part of Heartbeat, which is a group of intercessors that we interceded for our city every Tuesday. So for years we did that. And then as a city, we did many programs. We did a Y program. We did a Power to Change program. Franklin Graham came and did a citywide movement, which brought a lot of prayer. So again, there's been prayer and prayer and prayer, and I've been involved praying across the board with different Christians and different denominations, praying for our city, praying for the unity, praying for forgiveness. And I believe we are seeing some of the fruits of those prayers. Our city, there is more openness amongst the churches. There is more desire to work together, and I believe we are seeing God move. I believe in a way we're waiting for another move of God, one that has been prophesied for a long time. And so I think the waves of God often come as waves. And when I think back in my own personal walk, I've been in high places with the Lord. I probably am now more in a crest, and I'm expecting the new wave to come. So I believe that we're involved with AHOP, which is the Atlantic House of Prayer. Again, praying weekly for our city, praying for salvation for people, praying for unity, praying for, the marketplace. So there's constant prayers being held for our city, and I believe that we're beginning to see the fruit of that. So those are the big things. I believe there's a lot of prayer being going up right now. And I'm expecting God to move. We're expecting another wave to hit our city. And I believe this new wave will be a wave of evangelism. We've definitely seen the church being dealt with by God, where there was a season of God dealing with the church. But I believe the next wave will be a wave of evangelism, because now it's time for the lost to come into the church. So I believe we're preparing for that now. That's what I'm thinking for the church. Yes.